Hello and welcome. Welcome to Quilt Conversations Live 1 year celebration. Can you imagine? 1 year. Wow. Let me know if you're hearing an echo because I, all of a sudden, even though I've prepared, as soon as I went live, I was hearing an echo. So let me know if everything is okay. Hello, Nancy. Thank you for joining us on Facebook. She's in Arizona. Hello, Benita. Hello, Marcia. Hello, Linda. How are you? Hello, Cassie. Copper. Hello, Sherry. How are you? Hello, Sheila. Did I say hello? It's good to be here and to celebrate with you 1 year, 52 weeks of Quilt Conversations Live. And it's only possible because of you. That's right. Otherwise, I'd be having a conversation all by myself. No echo. Thank you, Copper. Thank you. No echo. Thank you, Sherry. Thank you very much. This technology, as soon as I think I have it conquered, it shows me you need to learn some more. That's actually next on my list is to do better at audio. And I need to understand that a little bit more. And that's on my list for 2022. So we are celebrating 1 year together here on Quilt Conversations Live. Did that go by slowly or quickly? For me, 2021 just flew by. It was like the Concorde jet. How did our year together go by? Was it fast, slow? Are you just joining us for the first time? If you are, welcome. We're so glad you're here. We are a inviting and helpful bunch. Yes, we are. This is our Friday night date. This is date night for us to have a quilt conversation, to talk about the things that we love and also sometimes the frustrations and challenges associated with machine quilting. So, Lois, hello. It went by quickly, she says. 1 year anniversary. Yes, thank you, Copper. All right. Yes, Lois, great anniversary. Greetings from Delaware. Thank you for that. All right. Let's see. The year went by quickly, says Copper. It did go by quickly. And if someone's challenged me and said, Dina, I want you to go live stream for 1 year every week, I would probably say, no way, I can't do that. It's impossible. Just like if I were to challenge you to free motion quilt, to machine quilt, to do something associated with machine quilting once a week for a year. Do you think you could do that? Once a week for a year, do something associated with machine quilting. How much do you think you would learn? I've learned a tremendous amount live streaming every single week. I've made a lot of mistakes, many of them you've seen live. I've had challenges, things that I've had to learn along the way. I think you could do it. One thing a week. If I can do it, I know you can. I put my best foot forward, got my tools, meaning my cameras, microphones, all the different things. I didn't get the most expensive. I used what I have. A lot of it I already owned. I'm repurposing old technology as much as I could. And I said I'm going to go live once a week. You can use the machines that you have. You can use the threads that you have. Well, I'm not saying every single day, just once a week. I go live once a week for 1 hour. Okay, yes, I confess. Sometimes it's 2 hours or an hour and a half. Lately, I've been going over. Oh, thank you. That has happened with practice. Copper. They go smoothly. I do a lot of practice. Yes. Thank you for that encouragement. I appreciate it. So, Sherry, I know you can do it. One thing. One thing. Now, it doesn't have to be for an hour. It could be for 15 minutes. You set the challenge. Do you want to grow in some way in machine quilting? Do you want to acquire certain tools? Do you want to acquire certain techniques? All right. I'm just throwing that out there because this is all about us helping each other, and I want to help you. You know, I'm here to help you grow in machine quilting. So, how was your week? What did you ladies do? Sheila says it was a great year. She learned a lot with practice. Yes, thank you. Oh, and with my encouragement. I appreciate that. I'm so glad. And we're going to have a little bit of show and share, kind of a recap of the year, some of the things that some of you have learned from listening, but also putting it into practical use in your projects. And so some of those show and shares that we've had throughout the years, I pulled out some individual photos and we're going to see some of that. And a couple of you have sent in some comments about what you have learned. And I'm going to share those and we're going to talk about them. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, Copper says, I've been sewing and finishing up and basting her flag quilt. Fantastic. Yes, you hope to quilt it this weekend. Wonderful. All right, there goes Tasha. Hello. Thank you. Yes, 1 year, 1 year. Oh, I forgot to play my sound effect. I don't know if you can hear it. Party noise. Let's see. It's on mute. Let's try this now. Is it playing? Let's see. I don't know if you can hear it. Did you hear it? The horn? All right. So anyway, what was my week like? I am still busy getting ready to teach for next week, as you ladies know, but I also did go live. Yes, you can hear the noise. Good. All right. I did go live on Amazon and it was all about thread and needle. So if you missed it, watch the replay. It's here also on YouTube. You can watch it here. And I'll share that with you very quickly. This is kind of a recap. I talked about needles a little bit more in depth, not very deep, but we've talked about needle systems, needle sizes, and also needle thread combinations. So take a look at that. And I had to put on my glasses to read that tiny writing. Needle systems are important to know what that is. And I think, Tasha, you were there and you said that you were going to pull out your manual. Is that right? Am I remembering correctly? And then I talked about the thread that I use for basket making. I shared that. Yes, thank you. Thank you, Guinness. Thank you for recognizing it's our 1 year anniversary, 52 weeks. We did it together. Yes. Then I talked about thread weight. Thank you. Thank you, Spiced. Can I call you Spiced? Is that Quo Spice? Bonita, thank you. You learned a lot from the thread and needle session. Good. I'm so glad. In this example, there's 60 weight and 40 weight thread. So I could show you the difference between two um, two steps. So 60 weight is the thinner and 40 weight is the heavy. 50 weight would be in the middle, right, ladies? And so you can see the difference between 60 weight thread and 40 weight. So we talked about that and how I use it. Thank you. Thank you, Spiced. So glad you're here. Welcome and thank you for joining us. Oh, I pronounced it right. Great. Quo Spiced. Wonderful. Okay, so Tasha says yes. When we had our session on thread and needles, that she promised to take out her manual and read it and learn more about her machine. Okay, there goes Terry. Thank you for that. Thank you. It's only possible with everyone else. And then I talked about my personal preference of using thread that looks metallic, that has a nice sheen, and it looks like it's a metallic thread, but it's really a polyester thread, and how I like to combine that. In this instance, this was a art quilt, and that gold fabric is silk. It's Dupioni silk, and I use glide thread. All right, so that was Wednesday. If you haven't seen it, it's again, I went over because I just love sharing all this fun information so we can have success in quilting. Um, so go take a look at that if you haven't already. Tasha, I think she said she was going to watch the replay and get out her notebook. So, Terry, thank you for that. Happy anniversary to us. Yes. Thank you, thank you, thank you, ladies. All right. It's 77 degrees in California. Wow, that's nice. Actually, it's quite warm in here in Virginia, unseasonably warm. What is the temperature? I went out to get the mail just before we came live, and it's 60 degrees at 7 p.m. That's warm. So, what I'd like to share with you first is a quote that Lois sent in. Lois and I, which I would like to know this in the chat. How did you and I meet? Did we meet in the class? Was I teaching, or were we in the class together? Did I meet you at a quilt show? Did you find me here on YouTube? How did you find out about Quilt Conversations Live? Let us know how you found out. And I'd like to know that. So Lois found me, and Lois, correct me if I'm wrong because I know my memory. um, Found me on Instagram and started following me. And she interacted with some of the things that I was posting. I was posting some ruler quilting things. And then she talked to the store that she works at. She teaches there, and said, "Hey, there's this lady. She's on Instagram and she does ruler quilting. We should have her come up." So that's what ended up happening. She talked to the owner talked to me, and invited me, and I've been up there several times teaching advanced ruler design. Lois does a fabulous job teaching the ladies there. They have a club, and she does a fabulous job teaching beginners how to work with the ruler quilting. She does that in person in Delaware. Um, and then they call upon me to come in and supplement, and Lois lays a fabulous foundation for the ladies, and then I come in and help with design, how to move from owning the rulers and knowing how to use them to designing with them. So Terry says that she was searching YouTube for free motion quilting tutorials and found some of my videos. Fantastic. All right. No conversation. That was before I went live. Okay. So Copper says, I think I was just watching quilting videos on YouTube and just happened upon this channel and saw there was a live. After one live, I was hooked. Fabulous. And I am so happy for that. Quill Spice says she found me on Facebook. Fantastic. All right. Who else? Oh no. Tasha says, sorry, family emergency. Okay. Sorry about that. Thank you, Marsha, for that. Congratulations for us. All right. Who else? How did the rest of you find me? Nancy Crandall says that she met me at Virginia Star Quilt Guild. Yes, that's right. Here in Virginia, the Quilt Guild. Actually, we have 3 here. Virginia Star is 1. And watched me flourish. Yeah, that was the first guild that I joined here in Virginia. Was Virginia Star, and it's a group of amazingly talented women, and I learned so much in that group, and thankful for it. Cassie found me on YouTube in October 2021. Facebook says Guinness. She found me on Facebook. Fantastic. Sheila says that we met at a local quilt guild. Yes, during show and tell. Yes, Sheila, was a pleasure and still is. So here is Lois's quote. It's multifaceted. The question was, what have you learned in this last year? And so this is what Lois has said. It's hard to pick one thing that I learned because you have shared so many things, from how to start, how to practice, preparing for quilting, and choosing quilting tools and designs. Thank you, Lois, for sharing your insights and the things that you've learned here. I really am encouraged by it, and I'm thankful that these live sessions, have been helpful for you. Anyone else echo Lois's thoughts and experience? Did you watch some of the videos about how to practice on real quilts? And what about the one about taking the stress out of quilting, preparing for quilting, which is basically from start to the point where you're starting to quilt, you are preparing for quilting. So Shari says she came across me on YouTube. All right, let's fix that. All right. All right. Low is so true. Okay. What else? All right. It's hard to pick one thing. I've learned because I've shared so many things, and I'm thankful that I've had that opportunity. How many of you have improved in your practice? How many of you have started to prepare your quilts differently? And what about selecting your tools? Are you looking at your machine quilting tools in a different way? Lois says yes, and designs. She's inspired by designs. Yay for YouTube. Linda says, I was searching YouTube for quilting information, came upon your video, and then started to follow. Fantastic. Yes. All right. A lot came through YouTube. So here's the next thing that Lois says. The other thing I learned was really helpful for planning a quilt was how you explained borders and boundaries. I never knew where to start the directions and quilt when the directions said quilt as desired. Yes, quilt as desired can be a frightful phrase for many of us, right? Yes, one step at a time, Sheila. Yes. Yeah, borders and boundaries. If you missed that, I forget which live session that was. Um, but I think I talked about it in several, and I did it early on, maybe through episodes 1 through 10, or 5 through 10, maybe. It's hard, I can't remember. Quilt as desired was never helpful. Yes, I actually created a course called Quilt as Desired, and it's something that I shared with my membership, Stitching Lane Society members, and it's designing drills. And so basically, I've changed the phrase from quilt as desired, get the secrets to quilt as desired. And it's basically designing drills. And we went through those drills in our coaching session we had last month. Yes, that's in-depth coaching through Stitching Lane Society. Okay, the next thing that Lois said was, finding borders and boundary helps to break it down into parts I can handle, especially since I really like ruler quilting and want to learn how to add free motion to ruler quilting. So not only has Lois been able to incorporate this new idea of borders and boundaries. She now sees it as a tool to help her incorporate free motion quilting. So she has set a goal to use that tool now to help her in her goal to include free motion quilting. Thank you, Lois. Thank you so much for sharing. Wow, isn't that wonderful that she has taken the things that she's learned over this last year and have incorporated that in her goals for the coming year. That's what it's about. We don't need to just listen. We need to act upon what we hear in order for us to benefit from it, to actually do something. And we've had that conversation before, so you ladies know. So now let's look at some quilts. These are some of the quilts that you ladies have submitted over the last year that were either inspired in some way by something we shared, we talked about here on Quilt Conversations Live, something that helped you in the next step in your machine quilting journey. And ladies, since these were shared over the last year, as I put your quilt up, please share in the comments if you can recall what in particular you applied in this quilt that helped you conquer any fear or new skill or a new challenge or build your confidence. Just let us know. So here is Copper's quilt. Isn't that beautiful? I think it's a runner. It's not a full quilt, but it's a runner, and it's beautiful. I love the texture and the echoing. I love how she used the circles to help create the secondary design in that negative space area where the white sections of each of those quilt blocks came together. Beautiful Copper. Do you ladies remember this one? Yes, Sherry, yes, it's gorgeous. Love it, love it. Fantastic. Copper, remind us about your quilt project. I'm reading this a little bit delay here. Okay, there's a new comment. Okay, so she practiced first. I can't emphasize that enough, ladies. You know, awesome. Yes. Thank you, Copper, for sharing your project with us and letting us know that you are implementing some of these techniques and suggestions. Terry says that's so beautiful. Wow. Yeah, it is gorgeous. I love so much about it. The quilting, the way she chose the flower petals. Yes, that's it, Sherry. The opposites. Beautiful. And she says, I also never would have thought to insert a circle in there. Oh, wow. Fabulous. Love that. And as you start to implement these techniques, you're going to gain confidence. You're going to start to try things and experiment. And sometimes you're not going to be successful, but you will learn from that as well as those that are successful. Yes. So Copper thanks everyone, and she had a lot of fun. Okay, next up is Linda. Linda, congratulations on this quilt. I remember when we shared this the first time, everyone loved this pattern. They loved this scrappy look, this very modern look, and I love it too. And I love the quilting that you did on it, ruler quilting. Hopefully you ladies can see that. She did edge to edge ruler quilting with beautiful, it's dot to dot, connecting the dots she did with rulers. Yes. All right. Linda, hopefully you're still here. You can let us know what your inspiration was for this quilt and how you decided to quilt it the way you did. Was this a brand new ruler that you were trying? Were you inspired by one of the videos here that I share on YouTube? Was it a quilt conversation? I vaguely remember it might have been one of our quilt conversations where we talked about the Westerly Design Snowflake Template series, which I have several videos on here on how to get multiple edge-to-edge quilting designs with that series of templates. But I love this quilt. I have a nice bundle of scrap strips ready to make this similar design. Yeah, yes, echoing does work. It does work. And Copper, you are right. Now, in this case, Terry, I think you were talking about um, Copper's quilt, but there's echo also in Linda's quilt. Remember the definition of an echo. If you've missed the echo series, go back and watch that series. Echo is a repeating of a shape. And she has repeated circles, she has repeated straight lines, and echoing is repeating of a theme. So she's repeated that theme, not only in the quilting, she's repeated that theme in the piecing. Looks modern, yes, very modern. I guess Linda has left. I don't see any comments coming through for Linda. Linda, hopefully you'll watch this on the replay. We love your quilt. And Copper says she loves the quilt too. The colors are gorgeous. The molecule quilting design. Yes. I like that description, molecule. Wonderful. Now, if I missed it, Copper, I'm checking the comments. I don't think I see Linda's comments if she's still here. Okay. Echoing works. Yes. All right. Well, everyone, beautiful job by Linda. Linda, thank you for sharing your quilt with us. We love it. Very modern quilt. And so next, we're going to look at... Okay, there's Terry. Nope. Okay, I guess she's not here. But Terry's Linda's quilt, yes, she loves the repeating circles. All right, she was up here early on. I think I saw it's L. Wright is usually Linda. Yeah, she was here early in the broadcast. Maybe she'll return. She was here on YouTube. All right. Let's see. Go scroll back down. Okay, so next is Sheila. Sheila's quilt. I love this. This is so cute. Her owl quilt. Thank you, Sheila, for sharing your quilt. Oh, Linda, she is here. Okay. You forgot you were Linda. Wasn't that your quilt? All right, I'm going back. Sorry, Sheila. Linda is here. Now, Linda, this is your quilt. I have this in a special folder for all you. I have a special folder for you ladies. Did I share the wrong quilt? Did I label it wrong? Okay. So you've been here the whole time. Okay. Uh, just let me know because I want to correct that if that's incorrect. When you ladies send me emails, I relabel the files with your name and I put you in a folder. Okay. All right. I guess there's a little time lag. I'll wait a minute or so for you ladies to respond. Because, all right, I'm going to go back to Sheila. in a minute or so until I get verification from Linda that this is your quilt. Copper says, oh, slow typer. Okay. Okay. All right. Yes, this is okay. I feel better. Wonderful. Okay. Copper, sorry, you can't claim this quilt as yours. It belongs to Linda. Okay. Now, Sheila. Some have already commented. Beautiful colors, fun owls, just, and this is her own design. Sheila, correct me if I'm wrong, but I remember. Hello, Pamela. So glad you're here. You're new, everyone. Welcome. Give Pamela a warm welcome. I'm so glad that you're here with us celebrating our 1 year together with Quilt Conversations Live. Welcome to the group. Hello, Lorraine. So glad you're here too. Welcome, welcome. Now, Sheila, share with us some of the details on this. I remember that you did the applique, you did some quilting on this, and it's just a fun and happy quilt. So Pamela's getting her round of welcomes. Thank you, everyone, for saying hello to Pamela. We're so glad you're here. And Pamela, we were just asking, how did you find out about Quilt Conversations Live? Was it YouTube, Facebook, Instagram? Did you and I meet in a class or some quilting group? You are welcome here. Yes, it is a very pretty quilt. Very pretty. I love the use of color. I love the flowers. And oh, you're quite welcome, Pamela. You're welcome. I'm happy. I love talking about quilting. You can ask my sisters because their eyes roll over as soon as I start talking about quilting. And there's my sweet brother. Yes. Hello, Jay. Arrington Jay. Awesome. I'm so glad you're here. Ladies, he's on Facebook. I'm so glad you're here. Um, all right. Yes, such a happy quilt. I guess Sheila has left. I have not seen a comment from Sheila about this quilt. I'd love to get a comment from you, Sheila, about your owl quilt and how Quilt Conversations Live and your time here has been part of this journey for you. Arrington J, ladies here on YouTube are saying hello to you and thanking you. I thank you for Arrington J, AJS Investigations, um, being a sponsor of Quilt Conversations Live. Yes, thank you. All right. Well, next then, Sheila, we will. Oh, my brother Arrington Sheila, he says he loves your quilt. He loves it. He's over there on Facebook. Hello, Mary. Welcome. Let's hear it for Pamela, the new kid on the block. Ladies, I am so happy. You don't know. I am so thankful. Hello, Mary, and welcome. Welcome. Are you new? Have you been here before? Oh, you are new. Welcome. Everyone, please give Mary a warm welcome to Quilt Conversations Live, to our family of quilters, our date night each Friday. We come together and we talk about quilting and we have some fun in between. Yes, we do. And tonight we are celebrating 1 year of Quilt Conversations, 1 year of being together. I'm trying to find my little, yeah, there it is. 1 year. And we're looking back. We're looking at the things that we've talked about, the things that we've learned, we've heard here, the conversations that we've had about machine quilting. But also, we're taking a look at ladies who have implemented those tips and those techniques. And we're talking about, hey, how did you find Quilt Conversations Live? Let us know in the chat how you found us. And Mary is getting a ton of hello from everyone. And my brother Arrington is saying hello to everyone. And he says, welcome to Mary. Awesome. Ah, there goes Sheila. Awesome. Sheila, I'm going to go back to your quilt. Thank you, Sherry, for welcoming my brother. Mary Marcia says, welcome and thank you for joining us. Come join us. Yes, fantastic. Awesome. You are welcome, Mary. We are so glad you're here. So let's go back to Sheila's quilt. All right. So Sheila, I want to add your comment with your quilt. She was practicing applique for the first time, and she used a new ruler. She tried 2 new techniques in one quilt. I say hooray. I say fantastic. Ladies, be encouraged. Sheila went for it. A lot of these ladies, the quilts that you're seeing, they have the same challenges and frustrations that we all have. And they're not letting it hold them back. Don't let it hold you back. Try it. It's okay to make a mistake or to do something a little bit that you didn't plan to do, right? It is okay. And Sheila says, thank you, everyone. All right. So let's see. Jenny says she found me on Facebook and from hearing about me. Awesome. So glad. Pamela says she looked up quilting on YouTube and there I was in the scroll. Awesome. Fantastic. So glad. Now we're going to look at Terry's response to the question. Now, it was Lois who last week said, why don't we talk about what happened this year, the things that we've learned? And I thank Lois for giving us inspiration to structure our celebration this way. And so Terry responded, and she had a few things to say. And I really want you ladies to pay attention to this, because Terry, she's really taken time to think about those things, but they're not only just declarations. I see them as things that she has put into action. Action. We have to stop thinking and start doing. And Terry has said that's what she's done by her response. That's how I see it. Let me know if that's how you see it. So here's Terry's first thing. She was like the rest of us. She had fear and hesitation about learning machine quilting, and in particular, free motion quilting. And so from Quilt Conversations Live, she has listened and she's learned that she needs a learning plan. How am I going to learn? Number 1, how am I going to learn free motion quilting? A learning plan. Number 2, she said that she needed to develop an essential tool list. What tools do I need to be successful at machine quilting? And she's talking about free motion quilting. And I've shared both of those things. I talked about having a quilting plan. I talked about essential tools. We have had a conversation about that, about where you are in your journey, your learning plan journey, and your tool acquisition journey. And then third, Terry says, develop a learning practice. Now that we have a plan, we have the tools, how do we take those two together and now begin to do it? A learning practice. How to do it, how to take the plan and the tools and to start doing something with that. Thank you, Terry. That is so true. I am thankful that this year you have gathered those three critical points of moving forward. And thank you for sharing that with us, reminding us. And so, if you are joining us for the first time, Mary and who else was it? Mary and um, Pamela, yes. All those who are new, and even those who are watching who are not in the chat, go watch those videos over the past year. Quilt Conversations Live. Look at the title and see if that's an area that you want to learn more about to help you in your journey. Okay. All right. So the next thing that Terry said, I also learned that mistakes are tools, fruit, and inspiration. Tools, fruit, and inspiration. What do you ladies think? Can you see that in your own journey? Do you remember our conversations about how mistakes help us? They're a tool to help us move to what works. Those mistakes help us as a tool to move forward to get to what will work. Do you remember those conversations? Let us know in the chat. And mistakes are fruit. Can you see that? Sherry says she totally agrees. Okay. And she says that she was very hesitant to do free motion quilting before taking my tips to heart. And it really does help. And I'm glad you phrased it that way, because sometimes, we can hear someone's tip and think, well, that's not really going to work for me. Or I'm not that kind of person. And granted, we are all different. And I do not expect anyone to do it exactly the way I do. If you have been coming here every week, or at least the last few months, you must have heard me say the word test. Test, test, test. I always say test. Test this tool, test this thread, test this technique. See how it works for you. I share what has worked for me and what hasn't worked, and then I encourage you to do your own testing. Yes, those are the three things that I have shared here: tools, fruit, and inspiration. We can be inspired by our mistakes. Yes. You're quilting, you're doing some project, and all of a sudden you do something you didn't mean to do. And then you say, wait a minute, I like that. Sometimes people call it happy accidents. Awesome, Pamela. You just subscribed. Fantastic. And you intend to watch all the past talks. Wonderful. Don't forget to take out your notebook. I think the ladies can agree with me on that. Does she need a notebook, ladies? Was class in session those Fridays? Well, sometimes we did play. We played some games. We did do that. So here is Terry's quilt. Let's see. That's Pamela's. And okay, here we go. I need to hide this one, hide that one, and reveal this one. There we go. Terry's quilt. This was one of her big quilts from last year. And Terry, let those ladies who are new hear about your journey. Copper says, if you're going to watch the replays, you'll need a full-size notebook, paper for Pictionary, and Jeopardy. That is so true. Yes. Oh, and bingo. We use paper for bingo. Yes. Terry, She jumped in. She says, I'm going to conquer free motion quilting. Remember what she said? She was going to have a learning plan. She was going to get the tools that she needed, and then she was going to implement that plan with the tools. And she did that in this quilt. Block by block, she decided that she was going to do a different free motion quilting design. She was going to challenge herself and get over the fear and hesitation. This was a sampler quilt, and she used it to practice on real quilts. And this quilt, she's standing at a quilt show, one of the biggest quilt shows in California. Yes, this quilt has been in multiple shows. Is that right? One on the West Coast and one on the East Coast. Right, Terry? And that is fantastic. Now, what if she said, I can't do it, I can't do it, I'm afraid, I can't do it? Which, don't get me wrong, I've been there, I've been afraid, but she still did it afraid. I still do it afraid. But I embrace the mistakes as tools, as inspiration, and as fruit for learning. When we say mistakes are fruit, it is the consequence of learning, of improving our skill. Great, Copper. Terry, you are teaching us how following these instructions can lead to such an amazing and beautiful works of art. So look at this. She says, I was afraid even up to the last block. The last block. We still have to do it even when we are afraid. We still do it, right? Yes, it is marvelous. So Cassie, I know you have a new machine, and Terry, she is inspired by your determination. Cassie, you can do it. And Sheila, it is beautiful. It's an awesome quilt, says Linda. And so thank you, Terry, for letting me know I'm getting the information correct. Awesome. And she says thank you to everyone. Thank you, Terry. Thank you for sharing this journey with us and sharing your insights on what you've learned here on Quilt Conversations Live, the conversations we've had, the tips and techniques that I've shared. And just to let everyone know, Terry also took the next step. She watched my videos. Then she started coming to Quilt Conversations Live. And then when I opened up my private membership, she joined. There's a private membership, Stitching Lane Society, where you get coaching. We meet once a month. We have a workshop. We have coaching sessions. We have masterminds. One thing that happens when we have a smaller group and a concentrated effort of encouragement, we grow. We can grow. If that's something you need, you might consider joining. Right now, it's closed. It's going to reopen in July, but it's for a limited number of people. I want to help a small group of ladies, 12 to 15 ladies, grow quickly in their machine quilting through monthly meetings, encouragements, shares, workshops, coaching sessions, and a one-on-one session with me. So Terry is in that private coaching Stitching Lane Society membership. Hey, Catherine, so glad you're here. Wonderful. Wonderful. And thank you, Copper, for sharing the link. If you're interested in getting more information, just go to the website. I'm here to help you ladies grow in your machine quilting when you are ready. When you're ready, I want to be available. So Terry says that, yes, Stitching Lane Society has been very helpful and beneficial, especially since it's a small group. And at first I thought I was going to open it up to a large group, but I thought a small group might be more beneficial, and Terry has just confirmed that. Okay, so next, well, Catherine, you're right on time because next is your project. We've been sharing and celebrating our 1 year here on Quilt Conversations Live, and we've been sharing different projects that ladies have shared over the last year that have been inspired by Quilt Conversations Live, by our conversations, by the different topics that we've covered about machine quilting, free motion quilting, ruler quilting, even our mindset, the fear, the frustration, the challenges we face when we start down this path of machine quilting and how we can conquer those and how we can embrace mistakes. We are celebrating this journey that we have had together, this conversation to move forward. So you're right on time because next I'm going to share your project. You submitted this and you're here. Let us know about your pillow. I remember this was one of our early quilt conversations, and I think it was the border around the circle, those loops. That's when you had just started and joined the Alphabet Free Motion eBook mini course that I have, and Catherine has been just so diligent about doing all the exercises in this course. It's a self-paced course, and she is excelling. She is excelling. If I haven't said that to you, Catherine, I'm saying it to you now, and I'm saying it to you publicly. You are doing so well. I love to see the progression of your quilting, but also your designing. She is now designing on her own. The Alphabet Design eBook course is a foundational course. It's to help build a strong foundation in machine quilting. And it's about exercising movements with the alphabet. And as you start to do that, you're going to start to see designs out and about around on the internet. You're going to say, oh, I can make that with this letter, or I can do that with this letter. That's a combination of this letter and that letter. So, Catherine, tell us about your pillow. Yes, it is beautiful. Now, for those who, like Terry, want to learn feathers, I recommend you start feathers by getting a stencil that is a feather stencil. That will help you practice that movement. Use a feather stencil. Thank you. It has been fabulous. You're welcome, Marcia. You're welcome. Stencils, those blue stencils, any of those stencils out there in free motion quilting, once you've practiced and you've created a foundation, and that's what the Alphabet Design eBook course also helps you with. As you practice those different drills in the course, you're going to learn to stitch in multiple directions, and you're going to be better equipped to follow lines on a stencil. And Terry, I believe you are ready for that. And you can do it. I know you can. So has Catherine left? Okay. I don't know why you got thrown off chat. I'm sorry. Hopefully you can let the ladies know. There's a couple of new ladies here tonight. Know more about your pillow. I was filling in the gaps. Hopefully I was correct in what I shared. Yes, very nice texture. And she did some contrasting thread. All right. You're welcome, Terry. Yes, feather stencil. All right. Hopefully Catherine can come back and join us. And when she comes back, we'll come back to Catherine's pillow. But if you want to see Catherine's journey, part of her journey, I put together a small little video. It's here on YouTube. and it's called A Path to Success. Look that up because that's Catherine's journey. It's her journey through the alphabet design ebook mini course. You can see the progression of her skills, and then ultimately you'll see some designs that she has put together herself as a result of taking the course. Oh, there's Catherine. Fantastic. There she goes. She says, I want to say that Dina's optimism and her strong teaching that growth is possible by practical application. Yes. In everything from fabric to quilting. That application, that is such a key word. Terry, Lois, and Catherine are all saying the same thing. That not only did they hear the tips and techniques, but they are applying them, taking that information and putting it into practice. Thank you, Catherine. Appreciate that. Very well said. So true. Okay, so thank you, Catherine. So glad you were here to be able to join us for this celebration. Next, we have Sherry. Sherry, who found me on YouTube. Thank you for joining us for all these live sessions. And this was one of her most recent quilts. She did some echo quilting. She made this quilt along with another one, very similar but different fabric, with her son. And I was excited to hear this and share that she did some echo quilting. We talked about this in the last series. Awesome. Thank you, Copper, for that. We learn by doing, so we have to overcome our fear. That's true. We learn by doing. Thank you. Yes, everyone here is an inspiration. And I'm glad you said that, Marcia, because every time we see someone else's quilt that's in a similar place as we are, they face some of the same fears and challenges, or they're new, and we see what they have done, we get encouraged and say, wait a minute, I can do that. Well, if she can, well, what did she do? How did she conquer that? And so everybody, everyone sharing tonight, thank you, because you were helping the other ladies. Yes, Terry, I love this quilt too. Love it. The colors are fantastic. Agreed, agreed. Yes, beautiful. The straight line, the echo quilting, lots of learning. Pamela says, beautiful. Yes. Thank you for all those detail shots. And Sherry says, it's been a lot of fun and learning a lot. Learning a lot. Wonderful. Next step. I like that, Sherry. Next step, free motion. Sherry has signed up for the Alphabet Design ebook course. She wanted to do it, but she was in the middle of a big project last year, and she said, I'm going to wait until it's the right time. And that's important. As much as we want to move forward, sometimes it's not the right time to take the next step. Now she's ready. She's signed up and she's going to get started. Nice looking quilt. So true. All right. Look at that. Sherry, someone is already saying you're going to knock it out the park. And I believe that. I believe that too. You will. Oh, right. Yes, that is so true, Terry. Everyone has a different style of quilting. We each are unique. We are. Bring your uniqueness to quilting. You can get tips and techniques from me or even learn a couple of designs. But the best thing is that when you take one of those designs and you say, you know what, I want to put my own flair, my own touch on that and make it my own just by changing it a little bit. Be inspired by someone else, but then move forward and do your own thing. And I love this quote. I think it was Thomas Jefferson, I think. We talked about him not too long ago. I think it was him that he, and if I'm wrong, it's either Thomas Jefferson or Thomas Edison, and I can't remember which one because we talked about both. And I'll say that for one moment. Let me hold off on that quote for one moment. All right. So Sherry says, practice quilt in and on the machine and ready to go. Fantastic. Sherry says, let's hope so. Yeah, you're doing it. You're taking the steps. I am encouraged, and I know that you will do well. All right, let's see. Is this for your grandkid? Is this what they're doing to the quilt? Fantastic. Okay. I love that. There's nothing like making a quilt and then it's in the closet and no one uses it. I'm so glad your grandchild is using it. Congratulations, Sherry. Thank you for sharing with us your beautiful quilt. Thank you so much. I love that. Okay, so the quote. And let me see if I can call it up here so I don't make a mistake on it. I'm going to call it up here on my computer. I know I saved it someplace. Let's see. All right. Okay. Here's the quote, and I wanted to share this one accurately. Thank you for your patience, ladies, because I think this applies. And it's Thomas Jefferson. He said, "He who receives an idea from me receives instruction himself without lessening mine. As he who lights a candle at mine receives light without darkening me." So each of us are a light and we're shining. But if someone wants help lighting their candle, if someone wants help in their free motion quilting or their machine quilting journey, and I've already begun, they can light their candle with mine. By lighting their candle, by giving them help, by giving them inspiration, it doesn't lessen me. My light is still shining. I just said, here, light your candle with my lit candle. That's how I see that quote. Anything that I have that I can share with someone else doesn't lessen me. It helps them. So I love that quote for that reason. You can light your candle with mine so that we can all shine together. Great quote. You like that quote, Lois? Can you say that again? Okay, I'll say it again. He who receives an idea from me, he who receives an idea from me, receives instruction himself without lessening mine. So if I give an idea to someone, I share an idea, they've just received some instruction. It doesn't lessen me by sharing that with them. Now they have learned. As he lights his candle at mine, I'm a candle, his candle is not lit. He uses me to light his candle. As he lights his candle with mine, he receives light. He receives light without darkening me. By him lighting his candle with my light doesn't go out. It's still shining. It's still shining bright. I hope that was helpful. Yes, I love this quote. And that's similar to what Terry was saying, that we all have our own unique qualities. So when someone lights their candle with my instruction or my help, that's to help them in their journey and to shine bright as who they are uniquely themselves, who they are. Mm. Yes, look that up. Thomas Jefferson. Okay, so next we're going to look at one last person. I don't think she's here tonight. She was part of the community for a while, and then she said she had to work on a big project and that she would come back when she could. Nevertheless, she was here early on, and this is Monica. Monica was inspired by one of the Quilt Conversations live, the one about cathedral window, how to quilt a cathedral window, where I did some curved crosshatch. And so she did some curved crosshatch in her project. You could see it there in the corners of her star quilt. And then she did some other free motion quilting in the borders, also inspired by Quilt Conversations Live. And I shared this quilt with more details, photos in that session. So you have to go back through the archive. There's a separate playlist, and it's in the description box below here on YouTube. I did put that link for the entire year of Quilt Conversations Live, so it's all together. Sherry says she still wants to do a cathedral window. Oh, wonderful, Terry. I'm so glad you mentioned that. You remember that conversation and Monica's quilt, and it inspired you to work on your own project. Fantastic. There you go. That's an example of that quote. Her inspiration helped you to move forward. And Pamela says, wow. Oh, you're welcome, Copper, for putting all the videos in one playlist. You can go back and watch. Okay. Awesome. Yes, 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 yes. Okay. Well, ladies, that's all that I plan to share with those who have shared photos with me, with us during Quilt Conversations Live. And if I forgot some that were shared, I ask for your forgiveness because I did not find any others and perhaps they got lost, but I think I covered everything. But if I missed you, let me know and I will share it at another Quilt Conversations Live. I don't want anyone to think that I purposely forgot them. I look through every single file for every show. Every show has all the contents in it, and that's what I found. I could have missed a couple of photos because I put them in the wrong place, but things happen. Now, I want to share with you two things that were a highlight for me. Now, of course, the biggest highlight are you ladies being here at Quilt Conversations Live. And but one of the highlights for me was when you ladies asked me early on, Dina, we want to know more about you. Can you share your quilting journey? And I love to share that because you can see some of the examples I show you and think, wow, I'll never get there. I'll never do that. And I think it's important for everyone to know that I started with fear and hesitation, just like everyone else. I've just practiced and practiced. Oh, Catherine, bye. So glad you were able to join us. Take care, and hopefully we'll see you in a couple of weeks. Remember, ladies, I won't be here next Friday because I'll be teaching a class. So, yes, I, step by step, with fear, I continue to move forward and try different things a little at a time. And so you can do that too. So I was thankful to share that journey. And I also mentioned one of the things that I did early in that journey, and that was so that I could learn machine quilting and get better. I did meander everywhere. That's all I did for 2 years. Just a meander. Big, small, all kinds, but just meander. And that helped me gain confidence. It helped me improve my stitch length because I didn't have a stitch regulator. And with every quilt, from small to larger quilts, my confidence was building. So I wanted to make sure that I reminded you that that's part of my journey too. And so that's kind of what I remember too from Quilt Conversations Live, sharing with you and you asking me to share my journey. And so that was one. And the second one was to talk about and share the special quilt that I made for my mom, the fidget quilt. I made my mom a comfort quilt. She passed away a few years ago, and just before she passed away, I made her a fidget quilt. And that was a special Quilt Conversations Live because a lot of us know that we quilt for family and friends. And a lot of us quilt for a specific reason, and that could be for charity, for neonatal hospitals that need quilts, for seniors in homes, for orphans. Um, Quilts are special. They are. And I think we all can think about what quilt we have made that has an impact, has had an impact on someone in some way. It could be a quilt of valor for veterans. Quilts are handmade gems. They are unique and special. And many of us make many quilts, but we're not making them for ourselves all the time. Mary, thank you. Are you leaving us? I see you saying thank you to Copper. Oh, thank you, Sheila. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yes, she was an amazing, amazing woman. And of course, I miss her very, very much. But this was a special time for me to be able to share that with you last year. Um, and then we make things also for other reasons. And for me, sometimes that reason is that I'm designing something for a publication. They have a theme, and I get to share that with you. And I'm thankful for those opportunities, like the quilt behind me. That was something that I designed when I was an ambassador for Island Boutique, and I get to share that with you. Um, but sometimes I get to design something and name it after someone. And I did that last year, and I shared it with you. And my mom, her nickname, her brothers, her parents called her Baby, and her nieces and nephews called her Aunt Baby. And so last year, I was asked to design something for Make Modern magazine. It's an Australian publication, it's a digital publication. So I designed this tote, and I call it Aunt Baby's Bag. I named this after my mom because she loved bags. She had a armoire cabinet full of bags. Yes, bag in every color, red, yellow, green, purple, you name it. She had a bag in every color. Fabric, leather, canvas, bags for the beach, bags for church, bags for going to Disneyland. She had all kinds of bags. So this is Aunt Baby's bag. And this happened last year, and I was so thankful that I could share this bag, name it after my mom, leave some legacy behind, in addition to her own legacy, but my legacy associated with her. Um, so, Aunt Baby's bag. And now I'm seeing this bag being made and posted on Instagram. And they say, I've made Aunt Baby's bag. So every time I see that and they tag me, they say, look, I've made Aunt Baby's bag. It's a tribute to my mom. So that's some of the highlights for me, ladies. And we are just about done. We a little bit over, but I thank you for celebrating this 1 year anniversary. Thank you for being a part of Quilt Conversations Live. Thank you for staying for so long. Again, I've gone over. I think I talk too much. There is, if you want to join, an after party. If you want to come and share your quilt projects that are inspired by Quilt Conversations Live, you can join. It starts in like 10 minutes. It's Zoom. It's for 40 minutes only. It's not very long. And if you are a member of Quilt Conversations Live, you get to join for free. It's included. You can become a member of Quilt Conversations Live. And we have an after party. 40 minutes after we go live here, we go into Zoom where we can see each other and you can share your quilts. You are welcome, Terry. You are welcome. Thank you. I'm so glad that you enjoyed it. Thank you, Copper. Yes, what a year. Sheila, it's true. What a year. Thank you, Pamela. Thank you for everyone. Yes, I do put a label. Not a label, I actually put my tag. But in this case, I didn't put a label on this bag. Maybe when I make another one, I will. I've made 2 so far. I'll make another one with a label. That's a good idea, Sherry. You always remind me of those labels. That's true. Thank you, Terry. I'm glad you enjoyed that story about Aunt Baby's bag. Yes. So, I've been capturing some of those Instagram photos of ladies who tag me when they say they've made it. And so I have a little collection growing of Aunt Baby's bags. Yeah. So, ladies, I'm going to say goodnight and thank you. We are going to start our new year, Quilt Conversations Live. in a couple of weeks. As you know, I won't be here next week. I'll be teaching in-person classes all next week, and I can't wait to share with you the exciting things that happen during those classes. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, don't forget to give this a thumbs up and watch the replays of last year's Quilt Conversations live if you've missed any. And don't forget to bring your notebook. Ladies, thank you. It's been a pleasure, and I will see you next time. Have a wonderful weekend. Thank you for being here. Thank you for celebrating. You are welcome. You are welcome. Good night, everyone. Good night. See you soon.